to Summoner's Rift. Minions have spawned. 30 seconds until minions spawn.
So right here, Lulu ran right into the melee line, right? And you're in your casters, your auto range ends right about here. So if you walk up right here, you know Lulu's gonna throw her, I forget what ability it is, her E or Q, whatever that line is, right? You could stand right here knowing she's gonna throw it at you, step to the side and auto her. These melee minions will never hit you. And you don't really have a last hit to get until after you throw that auto attack anyway. See, Yuumi knew. Yuumi threw. So this would have been auto, Yuumi. Is that Yuumi Q? I think you just Q'd there. So this step back is a mistake. You could have just kept stepping forward. If she threw anything at you, sidestepped it, autoed her, Yuumi would have hit her. And then you could have hit this, maybe queued this minion, you'll knock both these out and auto this minion and you'll have the minion lead. But here, you throw a Q, and you get no value out of this Q. Or is that an auto? I can't tell with this skin. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, there was your Q. That Q got no real value out of it. All you did was hit an extra minion. Yeah, like I said, you probably could have walked up here, autoed her, Yuumi hit her, sidestep whatever she throws at you, Q the 2 minions. Now you get 2 minions for 1 Q. Last hit here. Now you have a minion lead. Here, you have the push lead, but you want to get a minion lead. At least 1 minion. Do you auto the Lulu here? No. So that could have been a mistake. When you're pushing here, you want to push slow, right? You want to push as slow as possible, so you want to get last hits. This minion wasn't close to dying yet. You kind of killed it with your passive, not necessarily your regular auto. So right here, right? You're stepping up. This minion has a lot of health left. I think you killed this with your passive. You didn't kill this with just a simple auto attack. It was the addition of your passive damage that was able to execute it at this health. Ideally, what would have happened is you step up. They think you're gonna hit the minion. They try to trade on you. You just hit them. Right here, right? You could have hit them. See, that's not low enough to last hit. That's still relatively high HP. You could have just hit Lulu, or even if you had Q up, hit Lulu, Q'd, you hit both of them. And then, when this minion takes probably 1 or 2 more caster shots, could have last hit this for free, instead of potentially losing health. See, you ate damage for it. You lost health for free. Lulu didn't take any damage back for you losing that health, when you should have just autoed her again. So imagine a scenario where you stepped up here and autoed her, you autoed her here. Lulu would probably be chunked down to this much health right now, just because of your passive damage. So here you're just randomly auto attacking, right? So the goal of getting this push is either we want to bounce it on wave 1, we want to bounce it on wave 2, or we want to crash it on wave 3. So crashing it on wave 1 doesn't really do anything for us because they'll just push it all the way back into us anyway. So the real advantage comes from us having a built wave on wave 2 and or a built wave on wave 3, depending on what we want to use with the wave. The built wave on wave 2, in order for that to happen, you need this wave to catch up to this wave. And by randomly auto-attacking these minions when they're full HP, you are reducing the amount of time you have to utilize this crash. So having these minion advantages is what allows you to heavily trade into the enemy without receiving much punishment back. Similar to how you were able to just auto that Lulu right here, that was when you had 3 minions and 3 minions. When you have a scenario like this where you have 3 minions and have 2 minions, well, you are now at an advantage because any fight you choose, you have 3 minions hitting them and 2 minions hitting you. Now imagine this wave meets this wave, right? Now you have an even bigger advantage, you have an even bigger wave to defend you, but you keep pushing this wave up by randomly auto-attacking, not giving enough time for this wave to catch up. And these auto-attacks don't seem to matter too much when you're crashing or when you're building wave 2. But what this ultimately does is pushing this too fast is either going to crash the wave here, and then their cannon wave is going to meet back up here and then slow push into you, which is a really hard situation as a Yuumi Misfortune versus Tristana Lulu, because when that slow pushes back into you, you're actually going to be locked under tower, losing a lot of farm. And that's a result of you pushing this too quickly. The other situation is you let this cannon wave crash, but they're actually able to hold this wave because it's only a 2-wave stack, not a 3-wave stack. They're actually going to be able to just hold it here. And Tristana's not very good at freezing, but with a Lulu, they're just going to keep poking you down while they hold a freeze because Yuumi's not going to hit them through their own minion line, and Tristana's just going to farm for free. And if Tristana can actually manage to freeze it, you're at risk of a Viego gank. And Amumu's not going to be able to do much if they have a freeze here while he's bot side. Right? So these autos matter, and you got to be very aware of why you're autoing the wave, when you're autoing the wave, where the relationship of this wave is to the incoming wave, and how you can use the wave to trade around it. Because I can already tell you missed 2 auto opportunities around the wave and you didn't take them on Lulu. So a thing to think about too is if you zone this Lulu off, maybe this Tristana's not pushing in as aggressively. So here too, right? They just hit level 2. You should have hit level 2 first. You should have hit level 2 first, and you should be the one running at them. Because ultimately what happens is, you can play this lane one of 2 ways. Perfectly playing this lane, you have 2 options. One is to push into them and crash the cannon wave and probably cheat a recall. Because you're not really going to hold that there with Lulu Tristana because they just push way harder than Misfortune Yuumi will. So you probably just cheat a recall off that wave manipulation and come back to a wave probably right about here that you can freeze. They might be able to hard shove it in, but you'd have an item advantage to heavily trade on them if they do, and if they poke you, you have a Yuumi, so you just hard win those heavy trades. The other option you have is to realize that they have way bigger push advantage, and you just let them push, poke them any opportunity you can while they're trying to push, and try to hold the wave somewhere over here with a Mumu bot. Maybe a Mumu notices that and comes level 2 gank them for pushing that early, because that's kind of an expectation of what they're going to do. But you kind of didn't opt for either scenario. You just kind of randomly autoed minions, never pressured your trade advantage with the Yuumi, right? The advantage of Yuumi is you can go into them, eat a shit ton of damage, they're never going to sustain that health back, whereas you're going to sustain that health back. And then you could just sustain your health back with Yuumi and then go in and do it again, and sustain your health back with Yuumi and go in and do it again. And eventually you're going to have kill pressure on them because they don't have the opportunity to sustain any of that damage back. And also, since it's level 1, Tristana doesn't have her combo, Lulu doesn't have her shouldn't have her shield, and you have those heavy trades on at level 1, you're getting level 2 first because you're managing the wave and keeping in mind the wave. That level 2 advantage might be a kill for you. Because like I said, Lulu probably would have been this much health. And then you walk up, E, auto Q, Yuumi hits her, whatever. Ignite, you probably kill this Lulu right away. If you guys hit level 2 first. But now you're in an awkward scenario where this is how the lane is probably going to play out in their favor, just because they're going to mindlessly push you under. And you can't really trade without the minion advantage. And they're probably going to hit level 3 first because the cannon wave's in an awkward spot, and they're going to hit level 3 first and maybe look to all in if it's not under their tower, but if it's not under your tower. So here, the scenario, right? You might as well just let it crash. They already built the wave on you. They already have a push advantage. You resisting this crash is ultimately giving them level 3 in a more favorable spot. Giving them level 3 here gives Tristana a lot of room to jump on you and combo you out with a Lulu buff on her, if she wants to, if the opportunity presents itself. You might as well just let it come here and try to hold it here, and if you can't, just give it up to tower and then build your own slow push out. Because the other advantage to that is building your own slow push out is going to protect you from a Tristana all-in you because you have more minions. So this is fine. You got trade back. Alright, that's good. You're trading back.
First blood.
So this is what I was talking about too, right? This bomb's gonna go off on you. Tristana got her combo, but now you baited that out, right? Yuumi's gonna heal it all off. She's on cooldown. If Lulu makes a mistake, or if Tristana makes a mistake, like standing right here in your caster minions, you could just keep, after this explodes, you can turn and just keep laying on the damage. Just because they're never going to sustain that health back, and you are. I wouldn't have even backed off there. If Lulu stepped up too, I might have stepped one step this way to stay out of her range and just kept hitting 1 or 2 more auto attacks on Tristana. At that point, Tristana probably would have backed off like she did, and maybe Lulu's still awkwardly hanging out here to put 1 or 2 more autos on Lulu. And if you put 1 or 2 more autos on Lulu here, she's this much health, and that's probably dead Lulu if you got the original autos off that I mentioned before earlier in the lane. So right here, right? You know Tristana's on her E's on cooldown. I would be walking all the way up and fishing for an auto to walk away. Walk up, fish for an auto to walk away. Walk up, fish for an auto and walk away. Or same thing with Lulu. Lulu steps up to you, because what you're doing is you're walking slightly into their minions, right? Slightly beyond their melee line here, but you also have some minions here. So you're not going too far beyond your own melee line. In this line here, I'd be walking right up to this line here and looking to fish for an auto and walk back. Fish for an auto and walk back. And what this does is, you know they're on cooldown. And because they're on cooldown, and you have a health advantage because you have a Yuumi and a potion ticking, you're reducing the effectiveness of their potions, right? Their potions are essentially useless because you chipped in autos anyway. And even if they hit you back or these minions hit you, you're just going to walk all the way back, let Yuumi heal you up, keep contesting this freeze, try to hold this freeze, and at any point they step up to try to hit you or try to hit a minion, you walk back up and you hit them again. Like, you are really far back here. Oh, did I just fast forward? Oh no, I rewound. But yeah, I would have stayed here, hit her, or waited for this bomb to blow up, so that's fine, right? But I would have stayed here, hit her, hit her, hit her. So you probably missed 2 autos. Probably could have had 2 more autos on her. Because you decided to eat the autos to blow up the bomb anyway, right? Tristana was able to get those last few autos off to blow up the bomb anyway. So you might as well have just stood there and gave her 2 more auto attacks, 3 more auto attacks, right? Walk, step up this way, hit Lulu again, 4 more auto attacks, right? Step up this way, hit the Lulu again instead of running backwards, 5 more auto attacks, right? Maybe you're still following, maybe Tristana turns into your minions, 6 more auto attacks, right? You could have gotten so many more autos on. Just look where they're positioned in relation to your wave, and they have no cooldowns up, and you do, and you're like a Yuumi Misfortune lane with so much damage on Misfortune and like infinite sustain on Yuumi. But like I said, I'd be walking up here and trying to chip down their health more. Because imagine you got like those six extra auto attacks in, and you're also stepping up and chipping in for these auto attacks. You might eat some minion damage, but they're on cooldown and you have a Yuumi, so it really doesn't matter. They're not going to all-in you under your tower. And then you finally let this crash. After an awkward series of events, you finally let this crash. You're not setting up your, Okay, Yuumi screwed that one up for you. Yeah, you weren't setting up your minions under tower. In here, right? If Lulu wants to step up like this, I might step all the way up. Bam, hit it. What are you warding this bush for? You now have the push out. Unless Tristana and Lulu want to hard shove this into you, which I don't think they will, because you could have been here and auto-attacking the Lulu and walking back, right? They're never going to come in this bush, because you're pushing this way. You're pushing to them. This minion wave is going to get here first, before their minion wave does. It's going to push to them. Especially if you start contesting it by trading every time Tristana autos a wave, you auto the wave. You're now contesting their push in, and you're forcing that slow push out. This is your opportunity to get farm for free and look to play aggressive. This ward does absolutely nothing. This ward, if you wanted to place it, should be placed in this bush, or on Scuttle Crab, depending on the opportunity that provides itself to you. But warding this bush does absolutely nothing. And then, yeah, you shouldn't be positioned here. You should be positioned right here, so that you're slightly out of Tristana's range, but still able to hit this Lulu and walk back. And you could tell, like, the trade pattern as Misfortune and Yuumi against most lanes, right? Anytime you're playing with the Yuumi, the trade pattern is essentially walk up, get your damage off, and walk away. Wait till you're off cooldown, wait till Yuumi heals you up, and then walk back in, get your trade off, and walk away. Let Yuumi heal you up, let your cooldowns come back up, walk up, trade, walk away. But you're missing so many opportunities. We're 3 minutes in the game and you probably could have killed this Lulu. I mean, yeah, you probably could have killed this Lulu easily so many times by now, and you haven't. Then even here, right, Yuumi's off you. I don't know what Yuumi's doing, but you could tell this Yuumi wants to play aggressive. Right? Yuumi's... You should be stepping up with her. You shouldn't be this far back behind her, even if she's making an awkward play. Just because you don't have any minions to farm, Tristana has this minion to farm. So Tristana's going to be distracted trying to hit this minion while you walk up with Yuumi and abuse their Lulu. Tristana's going to hit the minion, but Lulu's going to be like this much health again. And then by the time Tristana gets to turn around, Yuumi just jumps on you and you walk away. Let's see this Yuumi jump up again, right? So you shouldn't have been here. Should have been like right here, just outside Tristana's range to hit the Lulu once or twice. Yuumi had the right idea, right? Yuumi hit the Lulu without Tristana aggroing on her. Yuumi did it. You could have done it. You could have got 1 or 2 autos in and walked away. Maybe an auto Q auto and walked away. But you put this random ward down. Doesn't do anything. Then here, you have no last hits to get. And your Yuumi is like full charging ahead. You should be walking up with her. A general rule of thumb I like to use is when When your support's making a weird play like this, where they're just charging into the enemy casters in 1v2, especially with engaged supports, what I like to do is I imagine my auto range is Misfortune, right? And I'll put the very edge of that auto range on my support. And if they walk up this far, the very edge of my auto range will be right on top of them. That way I'm still back here safe from this 2v1, because we shouldn't be taking this 2v2 in their casters. So I'm safe in case my support ends, but I'm also in a position where I can still farm the minions, and I can still step up and put damage on them if my support actually does something good. And here I would argue Yuumi actually did something good. She steps up into this bush. They're not even acknowledging the fact that your Yuumi is 1v2 here. That, like, just Tristana should have all-ined her. But you could have had your auto range right here. So if she does get all-ined, she could jump back to you, first of all. And second of all, you're in a position to put damage down uncontested. Like, you will not receive any damage in return while they focus Yuumi, as you get to slap them for free. And having your range here, this minion, you might be able to just step up, take it, step back in the bush, and you're still protecting your Yuumi. But that's two scenarios where your Yuumi was in great positions to take advantage of them not playing properly, and you were completely out of position. Like, you're randomly auto-attacking minions here when you should be up here with your Yuumi hitting the Lulu for free. Because Tristana has auto-attacks to get. And this, you get 1v2'd here. Like, your Yuumi is now backing off. And you are completely out of position. If you were in position with your Yuumi, you could have walked back together, or you could have heavily traded onto them first. And they'd be the ones missing HP as you guys walk back. But now you, being out of position, awkwardly ate a full Tristana combo. And Yuumi has to save you. Like, imagine a scenario where this 2v2 happens right here in the bush, where Yuumi exhausts and you guys have a massive health advantage because you nuked the Lulu first while Tristana was focusing on last hits because you didn't have any last hits to take. In that scenario, the Lulu dies because you're hitting her while she's you're hitting her. The Tristana comes in to combo you, it gets exhausted. That's the scenario up here. If she ever turns off this minion to come fight the 2v2, she just gets exhausted. The Lulu gets popped, and Tristana probably gets popped or jumps away because she's exhausted. But now you're in an awkward spot where you burned heal for nothing, you burned exhaust for nothing. Tristana and Lulu just walk away. Right? And that's just coming from awkward positioning and not taking advantage of auto attacks that were available to you in the beginning of the game. Here you blow flash, and I don't even know if you get this kill. You blow flash for nothing almost. Yeah, then you backed away. So you blew flash for nothing. You blew heal for nothing. She blew exhaust for nothing. She probably ignited too. I don't know. Yeah, Yuumi ignited as well. And it's all for nothing. And here you trade 1 for 1. Alright, 2 for 1. But this should have never happened. But at this point in the game, you probably should have killed their Lulu and Tristana once, if not twice by now. And the game would be absolutely over. So here, this is the wave that ideally you would have had this wave come up with it. You would have crashed it on this tower. They would have died, and you would have had 1 or 2 plates by now, because this is a massive wave on their tower, and they would have had to leave the lane, and you would have both been alive. And then yeah, you probably would have got 1 or 2 plates with their jungler top side. 1 or 2 plates, recall, spam the dragon, come back with it. 2 plates is a kill. So you would have had 1 kill, 2 kills, 3 kills worth of gold, plus the minion lead. You have an item advantage, you recall, you come back to lane with an item advantage, you spam ping dragon with a Mumu. And you guys can literally force dragon, because one Viego's top, and even if you didn't know he was top, he still can't contest because his bot lane's behind. Right? And you'd probably be 2-0 with three kills worth of gold, you'd have a pretty significant farm advantage. Then you just take this dragon, and it's an infernal dragon, and the Mumu should be coming bot, right? Because those camps are up bot side. So you'd set yourself up for a perfect dragon opportunity. You set yourself up to crash this, take 2 plates, recall, come here. The wave will be here. Push these 2 waves out. Let it crash on the tower. Go to dragon with the Mumu because he should be done with his farm camps by then. And you're 5 minutes in the game with three kills worth of gold and an infernal dragon. And here, right, your Yumi's in a bad spot. Your Yumi's in a really bad spot. But you should be in a position, probably somewhere like here, where your auto attack range is hovering that Yumi. So she has a step back hop to you, and you can get her out of that bad position. Because she's not playing terrible if she's expecting you to be within a reasonable range. Like, this Yumi's has made some good trades, has made some good decisions. She puts herself in very vulnerable spots, but I think it's because she's expecting you to be where I'm expecting you to be, somewhere up here, where she can jump back to you and you can get her away from a bad scenario. She's looking to get her poke in. I think she also acknowledges you're not stepping up with her to get those trades in. You wouldn't be stepping up with her to get a trade in this spot here, but you could definitely be back here as she can hop to you, and if Lulu overextends, you could get a combo on Lulu and walk away. But look how far this Yumi has to run before she even gets in range to hop onto you. It's pretty far. You should have been positioned to defend. You should have been positioned to assist her if she needed it, because you have no last hits to get. So you should just be focusing on helping this Yumi. And like I said, Lulu oversteps. So if you were right here, Yumi jumps on you, Yumi buffs you, Lulu wastes her ability, you slap auto Q auto Lulu. Auto Q auto is Lulu and walk away. If they try to step up and chase, you just drop the E, and if they over chase, you all in them. Because they'll be in your cannon wave. Plus, you should have an item advantage at this point, assuming you played the first couple minutes appropriately and had your kills, right? Then that's an item advantage to all in them in this cannon wave if they over chase. So here, you should be looking to contest every single minion that Tristana steps up to auto. If Tristana steps up to auto a minion, you should be autoing her and walking back. The reason why you're not going for sustained autos here is because if Lulu turns this, they can actually all in you. Despite the fact that you have 3 caster minions here, it's level 4 and 5 coming up, Tristana actually may be strong enough to jump on you, all in you, and kill you, because Yumi is kind of useless at this point of the game. Yumi has decent poke early on. She's okay poke now, but she's not really a champion. So you got to be careful that Tristana wants a minion, you auto her and walk back. So if Tristana tries to jump on you, at least it's a 2-on-1. You don't want to take a 2v2 here yet. You at least want to be, probably want to be 6 before you take a true 2v2. Unless they keep making mistakes. And here, you could have been standing right here, step up, auto, walk back. Here, you know she's going to auto it again, step up, and look how far back Lulu is too, right? Just step back up, auto, step back. So that's 2 autos you could have had on Tristana. And you know she's going to hit it again because you don't have a last hit to get right now. She steps up to auto it, Yumi Qs her, you step up, auto Q auto, right? So she probably could have been auto Q auto. She might be half health right now, just because she wanted to farm this single minion. But instead, you autoed this minion when it's not even, like, this is misfortune passive killing this minion. This is not an auto attack killing this minion. You were attacking these minions at way too high HP. That auto should have hit Tristana. It should have been auto Q auto with a Yumi Q on top of it. And she should be half HP just for wanting to CS this single minion. Because look how far back this Lulu is. And it's the same thing with these. So these minions would not be stepping up right now. these minions would still be right here because this minion would still be alive. Maybe you'd be looking to auto this minion at this point, but these minions ultimately would still be right here. And Tristana would do the same thing. She'd step up to hit the minion, you'd hit her. She'd step up to hit the minion, you hit her. She'd step up to hit the minion, you hit her. If you do that on these two minions, she may be one auto from death right now, simply because she wanted to farm into your minion advantage. But you didn't take any opportunity on it. Here, there's no reason to auto this. You already have the push. I'd be walking up right here. Tristana, you know, wants to auto this minion. Auto Q auto. It would be off cooldown again. Or even just Q. Even just Q, you could have Q'd that minion. So here, like I said, this is before. This should have been Tristana, half health, eats an auto Q auto, is now in lethal. You walk up, you auto her again for wanting to hit this. These minions are still here, so she still has to step up. Now you have to hit this minion. Now these minions step up. Maybe the lion locks here instead of up here. So you could still be in range to walk up. You're really far back. You auto this for no reason when you should be stepping up to contest this minion. You should be stepping up here to contest this minion. Tristana should be in lethal right now. And then right about here, right? You should be here to auto her again, because look how far away this Lulu is. You should be looking to all in her right here. So now Lulu's coming back out, right? So if I was here, maybe I start backing off because they can actually contest an all-in. But I'd still be within my... I'd still be over here because Tristana's not going to jump this far and 1v2 us. She needs her Lulu, so I'd still be within our caster line at least. Fine. You know Tristana has to auto this minion. You could step up and auto her and still be way out of Lulu's range. So she's running into your casters to try to hit you. You don't want any damage for free. At least auto her back while she's running. Alright, this is awkward. They're focusing you. Okay, okay. So you get a kill that you probably shouldn't have gotten. You shove this out. Maybe take a plate. You have a Mumu back side, and you can probably just run away from this Viego. Lulu chooses to defend instead of base. I'd be spam pinging this dragon then. You know where Mumu is. Spam ping the dragon. Oh, spam ping the drag. You have mid prio. You have bot prio. Just take the dragon with the Mumu. Because look. If he chose to come contest this dragon, look where Lulu is. And look where Tristana is. And look where your mid lane is, right? The mid lane is probably never going to rotate. The Tristana may rotate. Your mid laner has full freedom to come down. You guys are 4v1, 4v2 at worst to take this dragon for free. So now they're going to take the dragon for free because Mumu went topside and you got a giant wave crashing on you and their mid has prio. There's nothing you can do to contest this dragon at this point.
Blue team has slain the dragon.
So losing this dragon ultimately comes down to recognizing what an opportunity exists and if it's possible. Taking that dragon there, you might have lost some minions because Tristana would have pushed it out, but at least you would have secured it, and you don't necessarily have to base after the dragon. You could have just ran straight back down into lane and caught the lane right here. And if you just caught it here, and Amumu was still bot, because you just took the dragon, Amumu can actually come down and gank the Tristana. And if that happens and you guys push her out of lane, you can actually crash this and get a clean reset off anyway. In a scenario like that, you would be getting the dragon wrapping back in the lane. You wouldn't be looking for kills, you'd just be looking to manipulate the wave as best as you can to get it to crash so that you can recall. You're not looking for any crazy trades, you're not looking for anything crazy, you're just looking for maybe a Mumu ganks, and if he doesn't, I need to build a slow push and use that slow push to crash it on the tower just like I did before and recall. But missing this dragon is just an opportunity of my mid had prio, I had prio, Amumu was on blue, spam the ping the shit out of it because Lulu's kicked out of lane and Tristana's coming back to lane. There's nothing Viego and Tristana can do in a 2v4 against us for this dragon, even if they have it warded. There's absolutely nothing they could have done. And Set didn't even have TP, so he can't even make it a 4v3. So you guys would have been 4v2 for free. Then yeah, you just come down, hope for this gank. If it doesn't happen, crash the wave and recall. But because you didn't acknowledge that, you lost the Infernal Dragon for free. So this was just a nice gank by Viego. Just abusing the position of your wave. Your wave could have been in a better position hypothetically if you played for the dragon properly. The wave wouldn't be in this position right now, it would be in a better position right now. But given the state of the game, this is just a nice gank by Viego. At this point in the game, Lulu Tristana can essentially jump on you whenever they want, assuming Yuumi doesn't have ult. Maybe not, because you actually have decent lead. So a spot like this, right? You have to consider, can Tristana, Lulu kill me if I try to push? Or can I just abuse them if they try to play aggressive? And in this scenario, you actually might be able to abuse them if they play aggressive. The only thing you gotta consider is, does my Yuumi have ult? If I was playing this position right now, I would play a little more safe. I try to hold a freeze on my side because you are strong enough to force a freeze. I'd force the freeze on my side until Yuumi has ult up, or at least exhaust up. And once Yuumi has one of those abilities up, I'd start looking to spam push every single wave and start getting damage on tower. And if they ever want to contest, Yuumi's just going to exhaust them or ult them, and then we just kill them with our ult because we do have the lead. Right? This slow pushing into them is problematic because it opens windows for you to get ganked by Viego, kind of like how he just did. And it opens windows for Tristana and Lulu to actually look for a good all-in on you while you guys don't have Yuumi ult up. And that's a problem. So I'd look to force this freeze until Yuumi actually has defensive abilities up, and the moment she does, I'd start to look spam pushing and getting tower. Because as ADC, one of your primary objectives is to farm, and that's what spam pushing these waves is going to do. Instead of all this trading, you're not going to have to do any of it because you're just spam pushing waves, and she's going to spend all her time focusing on CS. So they're never going to trade with you, as long as you space properly. And all this spam pushing gives you windows for your second priority, which is to knock down this tower. The faster you knock down this tower, the more likely you are to win the game. Because the faster you knock down this tower is the faster you can knock down this tower is the faster you can knock down this tower. So this slow pushing gives them great opportunities to all in you. You do have an item lead, so it may be unlikely that they succeed. But it also gives a lot of windows for Viego to come gank you. And slow pushing like this minimizes opportunity for Amumu to come gank for you, because Amumu is probably not going to tower dive when they can actually contest pushes. And what I mean by that is Lulu, Tristana, if they're playing properly, they can actually thin out the wave pretty hard before you actually crash it on a slow push, just because of their champions. So I'd be looking to fast push most waves, get damage on these towers and back off. And if they ever over push, you could just hold the freeze and let Amumu gank. And if they ever over push, you could get aggressive on them with your item advantage, without the threat of them all-inning you and running you down. But that Viego gank is ultimately the result of you guys not picking one or the other, of forcing a freeze or forcing a fast push. And although you escaped the gank, the overall mindset here is not optimal. You should be just auto-attacking right now. Everything. Auto-attack, 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 auto-attack. Forget the Tristana, auto-attack the wave. Just exhaust. This is completely unnecessary. Completely unnecessary. Now you just gave him a free window for Lulu to ult, and then Tristana will all in you. And you actually die here. Yep. Yep, that was completely unnecessary. You should have been auto-attacking the wave the entire time, shoving this under. Because now Tristana picks up a double kill. Wow. Tristana should have had a free double kill. That's because you spent so much time and focus and abilities on trying to... This exhaust and this ult is your only defense against Tristana literally all-inning you with the Lulu buff. And if they're up, Tristana can't do anything, and you can just fast push waves for free. And when they're down, Tristana can actually kill you like she just did. And that's what I was saying before. And that's exactly what happened. You should have never died there. You should have crashed this wave, try to force tower plays. If Tristana wants to play like that, then you have the minion advantage and the exhaust advantage and the ult advantage and the item advantage to hard punish her, while Lulu has to run after her jumping in. But instead, you gave up all your abilities for absolutely nothing, got all in and died. Pretty sure that was a shutdown to Tristana.
Blue team double kill.
Yeah, now you're in a tough spot. Because Tristana's not as far, or Tristana's still behind, but not as far behind as she should be. So in this scenario, right? This is a tough spot to be in. You have two choices here. Ideally, you acknowledge it sooner that they're going to herald mid because your mid is losing. And you sack bot and run mid and try to hold this. Because mid tower is a lot more valuable in wanting to keep it up than bot tower. Losing mid tower is actually pretty big. Losing bot tower to a certain extent is kind of whatever. There's even some lanes where you just give up bot tower because it's meaningless. But mid tower, losing mid tower is pretty bad. So there's an opportunity where you possibly acknowledge they're going to herald mid and you rotate up with Yuumi and you guys can actually get this 2v2, maybe 3v3 if Amumu stays and doesn't base to actually defend this. Or you realize this is completely doomed and your Yuumi stays with you and you hard crush this wave and you start putting as much damage as possible into this tower. If you were playing properly and you were managing your waves appropriately and you had your goals in mind of just farm and pressure this tower and you got your early trades in and you got your early kills and you didn't die randomly, this tower could probably be dead by now, if not really close to it, to the point that even if they force this mid tower, you're just going to force bot tower, and even though they open the map, you actually get to go run around the map too. So even though Sylas opens the map for himself, you open the map for yourself too. But a lot of mistakes inevitably allowed Sylas to open this map up, and you never really touched this tower. And what's going to happen is Sylas is free with a lead to run top, run bot, run mid, push, run top, run bot, run mid, push, 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 come all the way behind your tower, dive you, kill you, run back mid, push, go top, kill him, run back mid, push. Like, Sylas has this complete freedom to do whatever he wants, to shut whoever he wants down, because he has a lead and he got the first tower. On the flip side, if you got the tower first, you'd have all the freedom in the world to push out, come down mid, deny Sylas any advantage, put Sylas under his tower, or just keep clearing waves so Sylas can never touch this tower. Sylas is locked in mid lane farming. Your Kayn gets to free farm bot lane, and Sylas never gets to actually play the game because if he roams, he loses mid tower. So if you were playing a better game, and this isn't even your teammates being better, this isn't anything, this is strictly on you. If you yourself were playing a better game, this tower would be knocked down. You'd be running down here. Sylas isn't allowed to play the game. If Sylas ever wants to go, I believe Tryndamere is ahead. If Sylas ever wants to go shut down this Tryndamere, he loses his tower for it. But in this scenario, you don't even have this tower yet. Sylas is about to get mid tower. Sylas is about to be able to do whatever he wants, and you're about to have no influence over the game because Tryndamere is going to get shut down by this Sylas, then you're going to get shut down by this Sylas, and the game's just over at that point. So if Tryndamere gets shut down and they take top, and Set kind of gets to just run around with Sylas, that's not a fun time. Or if Sylas just gets to shut you down and get Tristana ahead, that's not a fun time either. And the reason why this is allowed to happen, like I said, is just because you never got pressure on this tower, and Sylas took his tower, and he's just going to run around the map doing whatever he wants to shut down whoever he wants. The game is now in Sylas's hands, because you didn't put it in your hands by taking this coming mid, denying him this tower, and making him make the decision: do I stay in lane and farm and get tower, try to get tower, or do I leave lane, try to shut down this Tryndamere because I absolutely have to? Because he does. He absolutely has to shut down this Tryndamere. And if he makes that decision, then he loses his mid tower for free too. And then you're in a position where this Tryndamere hard won lane gets his tower, you got mid tower, you got this tower. Now you can just play around objectives, ward around objectives, find picks in the jungle, take a tier 2, take an objective. You kind of just always know where Sylas is, and then play around that knowledge, play around the objective, and win the game.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Alright.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
And even here, Tristana died, right? Tristana randomly dies here. You should have a lot more damage on this tower where you could actually force it down right now. If this tower wasn't gone already, you should have enough damage on it right now that you could just take it for free after killing that Tristana.
Killing spree.
So here this dragon is going to be dangerous because you really don't know where Viego is. You know where Tristana and Lulu are. I don't think you know where Sylas is, but you do know 2 of your laners are top and recalling. So forcing this dragon, not forcing this dragon is good. But we should be aware of it, right?
Blue team has slain the dragon.
We shouldn't be completely oblivious to the fact that they're taking it. After this is pushed out, I believe you pushed this out. After this is pushed out, you can actually come up to scout. And you should have came up to scout far sooner after crashing this. Well, you didn't crash it anyway. You lost.
Blue team has slain the dragon.
You pushed it, it didn't crash, but you could have came out to scout anyway and intercepted them up here. Because they'd be focused on the dragon. They'd be focused on the dragon. You'd have two laners here. You have your Kayn and your Tryndamere right here. Tryndamere is strong enough to shut this down, and you guys distract them long enough for them to actually get in here. You guys could have heavily contested this dragon instead of taking this random fight afterwards. But that's one dragon you absolutely gave up, and the first dragon, Infernal Dragon, you just gave it up for free. The second dragon, you actually could have hardly contested it. You could have contested it pretty hard, and won at the fight and taken the dragon possibly. Here, it's a set, and it's a 3v1, and it's a set that's behind. I would be hitting the tower. You could have even tried to dive him. Yeah, that was possible to just dive the set, take the tower. You can see here. Look, here it comes. Sylas can try and shut down Tryndamere. And he doesn't even have to kill him to shut him down. He just has to deny him the ability to split push. So right now this game's just a base race. Who's gonna win? Is Tryndamere or Sylas gonna push down tier 2 first? And you're still locked in lane. So you literally have zero agency this game. You may be fed, but your agency is kind of done because you don't have this tower anywhere nearly destroyed. Your Yuumi should actually be on someone else right now. Your Yuumi should be on Tryndamere. So this is Yuumi's big mistake, is Yuumi doesn't have to be here at all. It's a 1v1 lane now. You guys are in a base race between Tryndamere top lane and Sylas mid lane. And who's going to shut down who first. This game is entirely dependent right now on the top half of the map, and that's where your Yuumi needs to be, is on the top half of the map. She needs to be on your Tryndamere, or she needs to be on your Amumu, or on someone that is top side of the map. Because Luz is going to be on top side of the map, and you guys are going to start losing. And look, Sylas shut down Tryndamere, and that's the game we were playing. Who's going to shut down who? Right? Sylas shuts down Tryndamere. If Yuumi was on Tryndamere here, Tryndamere probably kills them all. Meanwhile, you just 1v1 this Tristana with your item advantage, trying to continue to force this tower down. But your Yuumi being here is just a big mistake. And this is something that, it may be Yuumi's mistake to be here, but you as the ADC need to acknowledge this, that Yuumi being here is a critical mistake, and you need to tell Yuumi, go on Tryndamere. You need to recognize this scenario. You need to recognize this is a base race between Tryndamere and Sylas and who's going to shut down who to win the game. And you need to send Yuumi on Tryndamere so he guaranteed to win that game. He's guaranteed to shut down Sylas versus Sylas shutting down him. Because if Sylas is dead, Tryndamere can get this for free, Tryndamere can get this for free, Tryndamere might get this for free, Tryndamere might get this for free. There's a lot of Fed Tryndamere can get for free if there is no one to contest him, and the only one that can contest him this game is this Sylas. And you should have been spam pinging Yuumi to go on that Tryndamere. I mean, while you just sit here and farm and try to get this tower from Tristana, who you're still not trading into, despite your item advantage. So 19 minutes into the game, you finally get the tower. You should normally have this tower in the 12 to 14 minute mark, 15 minute mark at the latest. Because that gives you plenty of time to go make impact on the map before you have to be top side for mid or top for Baron. You actually have time to go get top tower, you have time to go get mid tower, you have time to pressure this tower if you're ahead enough. But getting this tower 19 minutes into the game, you're going to have to rotate anyway for Baron soon, and you kind of put yourself in a spot where you had very little influence over this game. Sylas is already fed, Viego's already fed, and they're just going to be nightmares for you. Like, the rest of this game you have to play very well. You have to play the rest of this game very well to win it. And I'll say, you being awkwardly here at their red buff is not playing this game well because you don't have prio mid. You don't have your jungler anywhere near you. Your mid laner's coming from base and your top laner's coming from base. You're by yourself, without vision, taking a red buff that you have there's no reason why you should be here. You don't even know where their mid laner is. You don't know where their jungler is. You don't know where their top laner is. You don't know where their bot lane is. For all you know, they could be sitting in this bush right here and coming to clear. They could be 5-man clearing wards right now, and you're just dead. Or they could be setting up for dragon, like Sylas is now, killing this scuttle crab, setting up for dragon to maybe get dragon walk into their jungle and kill you. Or you get it for free, who knows? But ultimately, the odds of you getting this for free are not as high as you think they are. They're actually quite low, and the odds of you dying here are much higher than the odds of you successfully taking this. And here it is, they find you. Sylas jumps on you. And Mumu gets killed for it. So you didn't pay the price for it, but Mumu did. And now without a Mumu, you guys, I don't know if you guys hard win this fight. Yeah, you recalled with the Yuumi. Kane's low, and you just handed over another dragon for free because you're greeting for a red buff that you have no reason to be there. So greeting for this red buff was a serious problem because you got discovered and the Mumu died for it, and now you have no way to contest this dragon. So now there's soul point for free, uncontested, because of 3 mistakes that you could have played it. So you could have played it way better and probably have those dragons for yourself. Like, all 3 of these dragons are not because of jungle difference. All 3 of these dragons are because you didn't play around them properly. So here we pick on the set because it's weak. It's fine.
Red team's turret has been destroyed. Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
So again, your Yuumi doesn't need to be on you. Your Yuumi should be on Tryndamere. Your Yuumi should be on your carry. You're not the carry right now. Yuumi's wasting time. The other thing too is you should be getting Yuumi off you is because you want solo XP. You're level 11. That Tryndamere is level, or where is it? That Sylas is level 13, right? At 15-20 minutes into the game, you should start to be the same level as the enemy solo laners. 15-20 minutes into the game, you should be the same level as the solo laners. You're 2 levels down because you spent the whole game splitting XP with Yuumi. Right? Ideally, this Yuumi would be like level 9, like this Lulu's level 9, and you'd be level 13. You'd be level 12, 13 right now. And a level 12 Misfortune is infinitely better than a level 11 Misfortune. The reason being is because a level 11 Misfortune gets one shot all game. And that's why Yuumi thinks she has to stay on you for some reason, is because she's afraid you're going to get one shot all game. A level 13 Misfortune at this point of the game is not going to get one shot by Viego, is not going to get one shot by level 11 Tristana, and is absolutely not going to die to a level 9 Lulu. So the only threat is also level 13 Sylas. Level 13 Misfortune versus level 13 Sylas, you actually have some agency over team fights. A level 11 Misfortune to a level 13 Sylas, and a level 12 Tryndamere, your agency is significantly reduced. So your Yuumi should be with Tryndamere. Give you solo XP, let Tryndamere carry the game. And you should be acknowledging this, and telling Yuumi to go away and go on Tryndamere. So pushing this is fine. I mean, because you have a Yuumi here. So it's okay. I mean, it's not ideal. You really didn't know where anybody was. So it's risky, but with a Yuumi here and some vision here, the risk is kind of worth it. Here you should be going... mid's fine.
Time to find a new friend.
So your Mumu gets caught out here. There's not much you can do to help him at this point unless Yumi wants to jump on him. Maybe Yumi jumps on him, heals him, he presses R and you get an ult off. Because Sylas kind of blew everything. That's a play. That would have required you to come straight back down though. Let Yumi jump on him. Let him step up and ult and then you just press R. But yeah, that's one of those plays that if you saw it coming, maybe Yumi jumps on him, he ults and you press R. But again, you're level 11 Misfortune to a level 14 Sylas, so that probably won't kill him at all. You might kill these two, but you wouldn't kill the Sylas. If you're a level 13 Misfortune to a level 13 Sylas, yeah, maybe you actually do enough damage to kill him there. And that's why this matters so much. You would have never killed him in this scenario, even if you got the combo off. You might have killed Tristana and Lulu, but you never would have killed the Sylas. But if you were a higher level from solo XP and better CS, better decisions, you would have had the possibility to kill the Sylas there.
Rampage.
So here, you have the Yumi on you, so you should be pushing this. And be ready to run down here. So Mumu getting caught there turned into them having the Baron for free. Not much you could have done about that. Running bot here.
Unstoppable.
I wouldn't have even wasted
Red
time
team's
putting
turret
that
has been
ward there.
destroyed.
I would have just come straight here, push this out, push this wave, recalled, and then come here with ult. You would have had more than enough time to clear this second wave and recall and come back with ult. Alright. You're playing this fine.
Shut down.
I just keep stepping up. It's 2v1. Keep stepping up into her. Make Sylas show up. Find out where the Sylas is hiding, right? Make him show up. Doesn't mean you have to fight him, but you at least know where he is. Because Dragon's coming up, right? You want to know where the Sylas is so that you could potentially contest the Dragon or not. If you don't know where the Sylas is, this Dragon's going to be dangerous. And you guys still don't know where the Sylas is, and Amu's going to pay for it. But if you ran up, contested this Tristana, saw the Sylas run up, and then watched Sylas run down, you could have probably saved this Amumu. So you guys lose Dragon Soul for free. That's a scenario where if you push that up and saw Sylas run up, alright, time to back off, right? Yumi would have, he never would have got to you. You're a Misfortune Yumi, there's no way he catches you, right? So you just see him run down, you say, oh, Mumu, back off, the Sylas is coming. You don't lose this dragon.
Blue team slain the dragon. Blue team's turret has been destroyed. Red team's turret has been destroyed. Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
So here, Tryndamere dies.
Shut down.
With Tryndamere dead, it's just up to you.
Legendary.
You kind of have to play it super well.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
Mumu gets caught again.
Has been destroyed. Shut down. Blue team double kill. Blue team has slain Baron Nashor. Triple kill.
That should be the game. I mean, there's nothing really to comment on for the most part. I mean, most of the comments come from laning phase
Aced.
and not acknowledging certain scenarios with your Yumi and telling her where to go, and not acknowledging that your teammates are about to get caught out and letting them know.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
But that's all.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.